Hello and good evening, everybody. It is Sunday, December 21st, and it's the first few hours of winter. Yep, the winter solstice. And you thought it was winter all along. No, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. We've been in fall this whole time when we've had these little tiny snows that have come by and hit us and these bouts of single digit temperatures and all of that. It's been fall. Just now is it officially winter. Welcome, everyone, to the 270 Weather Channel. Weather for the 270 area code and beyond. I'm Chris Allen. Thanks for tuning in on this Sunday night. Well, it's I know some of you are still it's like, wait. Let me go back and check the calendar. Because what he's saying can't be right. It is right. I'm sorry. Remember, this is the place where there's no hype. There's just accuracy. See, it says it right there. No hype, just accurate. Okay, so as long as it says that up there, then I, 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 I can't be wrong. I mean, come on. All right, I jest. Anyway, so here we go into Christmas week. It just so happens that the first day, here it is, Sunday, the week of Christmas, winter officially begins. Of course, it doesn't do that every year. It just happens to be this time. Okay. But I know a lot of you are thinking, how's it going to be? What's this week going to be? Well, I can tell you that we may come close to breaking some records. Or, well, okay, maybe not breaking records, but getting awfully close here in the 270. So if you're in Glasgow, you're in Bowling Green, you're in Litchfield, you're in Morgantown, you're in Brownsville, you're in Glasgow, Franklin, Scottsdale, it doesn't matter. You're all gonna come close to maybe tying or breaking record highs on Christmas Day, nonetheless. Isn't that crazy? It is crazy. I mean, okay, it's happened before. So don't go thinking that this is going to be one of those things that, oh gosh, it must be global warming. Oh my God, what are we going to do? They were right. Global warming. Oh no. Before you go thinking that, it has happened before. All right, I'll get into that in just a moment. But on this Sunday, December 21st, first day of winter, let's say the first several hours of winter, okay? Tomorrow's actually the first full 24-hour period of the winter season, the winter solstice. 52, our high temperature today, 4 degrees warmer than the normal of 48. And the low was 39, no rainfall or precipitation of any kind past 24 hours. Before we get into the forecast and discussions about the winter solstice, let's talk about R&R controls because tomorrow's Monday, and that will mean your opportunity to give them a call and get you set up with a generator. Just go ahead and do it. Make it a Christmas present to yourself and to your family to get set up with a Generac generator, the number one name in generators, because you know you're going to need it. And you may be thinking, well, Chris, you just said that we're going to have record high temperatures. There's no need for me to get a generator because, hey, maybe the power is not going to go off. If it's going to be warm, I don't have to worry about ice or snow or anything like that knocking off the power. But you know what you do have to be concerned about when the temperature gets too warm in the winter? Severe storms. Now, there's not any coming, none that I can see on the horizon, but usually when it gets too warm in the wintertime, we go just the opposite. of the ice and the snow. We have to be concerned about severe storms and all that kind of stuff. So there's really not a good time not to be without a generator. Why not trust R&R Controls, our sponsor, to come in and assess what you need for your home or your business? It doesn't matter. They can take care of it. They can get it done. So give them a call when they're back in the office tomorrow. 270-777-2024 is the simple and easy number to call. 270-777-2024. Or you can go to their website, rnrhvac.com. That will also work for getting a generator. They also have rnrcontrols.com. They also have Facebook. So there's so many ways to get a hold of R&R Controls and just to get this stuff done and quit putting it off. You're going to be glad you did, because when the throes of winter take over, and I'm just not talking about the cold, and I'm just not talking about the wind, and I'm just not talking about snow, but I'm talking other bad weather that can happen during the winter time when it gets too warm. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but don't you want to be ready for when it does? With that right there, a Generac generator, give them a call or hit them up on their website. Tomorrow they'll be in the office. And even though it's Christmas week, I bet you somebody will be there to help you. R&R Controls, with them, you will never be without. All right, here we go. We're going to talk about how warm it's going to be this week. And will it break records? Maybe not, but it's going to come close. Jed Highball is saying, bring on the 90s. Do you mean the decade or do you mean the temperature, Jed? I know. Because if it were up to me, I would be like, bring on the 70s, baby. I mean the decade and the temperature. Yeah, put a little disco ball up there and on top of me, and I'm cool. All right, let's look. Radar is all quiet here at 7:17 on this Sunday evening, the 21st of December. We saw a few clouds kind of trying to push in here today. We've got several of those little weak troughs that are coming through. Each one will try to, set the stage for cooler days. And even though, we were forecast to only make it up into the upper 40s today, we actually made it into the low 50s. So that trend is actually going to continue for the rest of the week. Yeah. See, now, right now, it is 37 in Bowling Green. Most everybody in the mid to upper 30s to low 40s. The thing is, it gets cold quickly because, the nights are longer and the days are shorter, or they have been. But starting tomorrow, because of the Earth's angle, and it starts to come back, tilt back, and start to straighten up now through spring, then the days are little by little going to get longer. That will take us up to spring, and the nights will progressively get shorter. But for now, we've got the long nights for a little bit longer. Here is the view live from the HazCam at the Grayson County Emergency Management Office, looking on the city of Litchfield, where you can see the stars. Oh, look, did you see a shooting star? Did you? I saw a shooting star just then. It was right here. It was right there. Right there. You can still see the streak. Oh my goodness, that was cool. Ladies and gentlemen, that has never happened during this podcast. You saw it, didn't you? Did you see it? Did you see it? You need to tell me if you saw it, because I just want to make sure I'm not seeing things. I mean, it was right there, right over the city of Litchfield. Now I just want to stare at this live camera from Litchfield and wait for another one. No, I'm not making it up. It was there. Didn't you see it? Come on, somebody tell me you saw it. I don't want to be the only one that saw this. I mean, really? Okay, I'll tell you what. If you don't believe me, then once I post this podcast to Facebook and all the other platforms that I post it to, X, Instagram, so forth and so on, you can play it back, my YouTube channel, you can play it back, and right at that moment, you'll see a shooting star. It goes kind of north to south. Right there next to that, where that 3 is. It was right in here. Oh, it was beautiful. Wow. No, I almost feel like my friend Jim Cantori when he sees thunder snow. I'm that excited. I mean, that was a moment. Isn't that cool? Okay, well, geez, I guess I should move on. I can go to this other camera, though, and turn it on and see what happens. Maybe we'll see another one. This is Gage, Kentucky, which is in far western Kentucky. Maybe there are some more shooting stars out there, although it looks sort of cloudy there in western Kentucky, as some of those clouds are beginning to move in. Okay, so it's not going to show me anything. But Litchfield, come on, give me another one. Give me another one. Come on. Okay, fine. I guess I'll move on. So anyway, boy, that was really cool. Paul Schumacher, I seen it. Chad Higgins, that was cool. Yeah, see now, some of you saw it too. Let's see here. Who else saw it? Mike Hogan, Halley's Comet. And no, I don't think it was Halley's Comet. Gail and Rod, we saw it. It was Santa. Santa. I feel like Elf. Maybe he's just doing a flyby just to make sure everything's cool. Bobby Hart, tonight there will be lots of star showers. Maybe I should have checked on that. Yeah, Paul says, Chris, you need to make a wish. Yeah, that would be cool. Maybe I do. All right, here's my wish. World peace. World peace. I'm going to do like the pageants do. What's your wish? World peace. I mean, I know I wish for that, but I know it's not going to happen. So I don't want to waste my one and only wish. All right, let's go to the maps, show you what's going on. So let's get you caught up and ready for the week ahead here in the 270. Pretty quiet, as you can see, the maps showing high pressure. Things are very quiet. The winds are coming out of the south and east overnight tonight, and then more southerly as we get into the day tomorrow, because high pressure will be to our east and northeast, and that means a southerly wind flow that is going to take over. And it's going to be somewhat breezy tomorrow, but by early in the morning, we could begin to see the first light raindrops as we start to get a little bit of Gulf moisture, as you see here, coming in from our south and southwest into, say, western Tennessee, parts of Kentucky, but better chance of rain as we go into the afternoon and tomorrow evening. There you see the isobars somewhat tightly close together. Therefore, we're going to have a breeze from the southwest at, say, maybe 10 to 15. I don't think any stronger than that. Here we go into Tuesday morning, still with a chance of showers. But, even though the coverage is running anywhere from 50 to 70%, that's about coverage. It's not about how hard or how much rain is going to fall. That's a mistake a lot of people make when they see the percentage of rain or a chance of rain. What does that mean? It's about coverage. It's not about how heavy the rain will be or how much rain you're going to get. Percentage, it's really called percentage of possibility or probability. We call them POPs for short. And what that means is, what is the probability of you getting rained on within a certain mile radius from where you are over a period of time? That's what a chance of rain means. You can have a heavy, heavy, heavy rain and the chance only be 20%. And we hear it all the time. Look at this. Look at this flood over here. Some 20% chance of rain. You guys are wrong all the time. Well, no, I'm sorry, sir, but you got it wrong because you don't understand what a chance of rain means. That's what it means. The coverage. What area of rain is going to be rained on? When we say 20%, that means only a few of you within a certain radius of our area is going to get rained on. When we say it's a 100% chance of rain, that means all of you is going to get rain, but we're not saying really how much or if it's heavy or light rain. Maybe we should, just to clarify things. And I'm working on that, by the way, because there are way too many people that misunderstand what a chance of rain means. So I'm going to get to that. I'm going to make that happen eventually. All right. So let's move on. This is Tuesday morning. Here's Tuesday afternoon. Front stalls right to the north of Bowling Green. As we get into Wednesday, the front this front kind of goes south of us and comes back, returns north as mostly a warm front, but it's going to keep us with enough moisture around for maybe a light rain shower. This is 6 a.m. Wednesday. That would be Christmas Eve. Notice it locks in the warm air. Yep. Here's Thursday. This is Christmas Day, and look at the warm air. Look at it's even going to be breezy. Christmas Day, warm and breezy, with most of the showers pushing off into northeastern and eastern Kentucky. Huh. Yeah. I know. It's weird. It's happened before, though. Here comes a cold front. This is on Friday when you're taking back all the terrible gifts that you got. Saturday, stationary front. I mean, this thing just kind of lollygags around through Christmas and into the weekend after Christmas. It's not in a hurry to go anywhere. By Sunday, it does go further south, but even there, it stalls out, and there's still some light rain off to the east of us. Let's check out our different source, our European model source. And again, for those of you who have not seen this before, the deep blue line or the thick blue line is the rain snow line. Colder to the north, warmer to the south. We can watch these little systems come through. Look at the retreat of the cold air. Here we go into tomorrow evening, and afternoon and evening. And there you see what we just showed you, the light rain showers popping up. But look at the warm air. Look how far north the warm air is retreating, all the way up into the Great Lakes, where they've had winter already, deep snow, lake effect snows. Now they're going to warm up. Here we go into Tuesday. Still some scattered showers, just rain for us. Okay, that's as far as this goes for this model. It must be a new model coming in. Yeah, let me back it up some here so we can go a little bit further. So as that new model run is coming in, let me go back to the last one and continue on because I can do that. Here we are with those showers. This is Christmas Eve day. Look how much of the country is warm. A good 85 to 90% of the contiguous 48 states is going to be really warm for Christmas Eve. And let's go into Christmas Day. Here we go. There's Christmas Day. And look, still some rain showers. Now, most of this will be light, but look at the push of warm air. Now look at the rain snow line way up into southern Canada. And really the only chilly places, New England, but notice no snow there. They're fairly dry. The only real snows are going to be Pacific Northwest, maybe Washington State, the higher elevations in California and the Rockies. But most of the country is going to be warm. Here we go into the day after Christmas. Look at that low to the north of us in the Great Lakes. And look at how much of this could be snow if temperatures were closer to normal. But look how much of it is either a mix or over to rain. We're still going to deal with some light rain on Friday, it appears, the day after Christmas. I mean, this is big. This is big warmth. But now, as you see, now we're getting into the weekend, next Saturday. Look at the colder air, big trough, starting to move in through the western part of the country. And yes, it eventually is going to come our way. Now, immediately your eyes get, as mine, get tuned to that. This could be one of those little clashes that set up between warm, moist air and cold, dry air. Yeah, we're talking maybe a classic thunderstorm setup for a week from today, next Sunday. If this is true. Now, I cannot tell you at this point that this is going to be verifiable, but it is something to watch because we will have a low pressure system, not real deep, but deep enough to cause, and you see here, lots of wind dynamic. There could be, some wind shear going on. Could be a strong low level jet, as we've seen happen before, ramping up the Gulf moisture ahead of a cold front. The cold front would be back here. So prefrontal thunderstorm activity next Sunday. Yeah, it's a possibility. Something we may have to watch. Look at that line. I mean, that's stout. Even this far off. There you see it weakening some as it moves east, but the low strengthens. It went from let's back it up. It went from 990 something. 990? All right, it was at 999. Sunday or Saturday evening, next Saturday. Then it goes 996, 993, 986. Wow. That's a deepening low pressure system up over the Great Lakes. The reason I hesitate about it being severe weather is because the low isn't close to us. It's going to be all the way up in the Great Lakes. But boy, is it going to bring in some colder air by a week from today or the beginning of the following week, which would be the beginning or just about the beginning of the new year. Here comes the cold. This is next Monday, the 29th. Wow. Look at that plunge of cold air. Boy. Yeah, and I would say it's really, we're going to flip the script here and get cold, very cold, to end out the year of 2025. According to this, it's going to get really, really cold. And here we are, New Year's Eve day, the 31st. Cold here, yes, but look, warm air takes over again in the western and central parts of the country. Could be interesting as we head into the end of next week. I'm just saying. Just saying. Sharon, the weather is very strange. Yes. Yes, it is. And as you can see right here, example of very strange weather. The model blender, 57 tomorrow, then 62 Tuesday, 66 Wednesday, Christmas Eve. Then look, 71 predicted for Thursday. I'll tell you this. The record high for Bowling Green on any Christmas day, well, December 25th, as long as the records have been kept, is 76 degrees set back in 2021. 76. 2021. Why does that year sound familiar? Okay, before you get ahead of me, please, do not think that this means we're in for severe weather. Okay? I know what you're thinking. December 2021. Yes. December 10th, December 11th, 2021, the tornadoes. And we were unseasonably warm then. But that 76 degrees, the warmest Christmas ever, happened several days after the tornadoes. Okay? And if you'll recall, we stayed fairly warm even up to the first day of January 2022. Can you remember what happened January 1st, New Year's Day 2022? You're right. We had another tornado. Yep, we did. Again, what I'm saying is do not get ahead of me. Do not think that because these, I know about coincidences. I don't believe there's always coincidences. I believe that things kind of fall into place where they're supposed to. What a coincidence. Well, okay, that could be argued, but I'm not arguing for severe weather. Please don't get me wrong. I do not want it. Do you think I really want to go on TV and talk for 5-6 hours nonstop when I could be at home? Yeah, it's my job, but look, I don't want to have to do. You think a firefighter wants somebody to set a fire just so they can go out and put out a fire? I mean, no. How ridiculous. I'm not saying I'm wishing this at all. What I'm saying is these are the things, the fact you have to look at when you're considering what could happen next. It's not a guarantee that it's going to happen just because it's getting this warm, but it's something that any of us, any bona fide forecaster, weather person, is going to look at and go, hmm, yeah, maybe. So 70s, low 70s, and it could even get warmer than that. But there is the warmest air that we're going to see this, and not only this week, but probably even after that for a while, because look what happens. There comes that big trough of cold air I showed you, and how the cold air is going to take back over into the last few days of this year. And here is January 1st, the new year, right there, going from 49 Christmas Eve day to 36. I'm sorry, New Year's, New Year's Eve into New Year's Eve night and New Year's Day, 30s, 70s to 30s. Something maybe to that, it's very possible. So all I'm saying is it's something we've got to and will pay attention to as we go through time. I want you to know that this is why we do what we do, because it's one of those situations where we've seen it happen before in December, and there's nothing that says it won't happen again just because it happened before back in 2021. You know, it can happen again. So I'm going to keep my eyes on it. I know that for a fact that there will be the hype casters, the ones that really, really will run this into the ground. They'll pick up on this and they'll look at the like one model or two models or whatever, and they'll pick out the worst of the graphics and they'll put them up and they'll say, "Here it comes. Could this be a repeat? It's too warm." Yeah, it's too warm, but that doesn't mean anything. Okay. But I'll watch it. In the meantime, I hope that you watch me tomorrow morning on News 40 Sunrise at 6 a.m. on WNKY, NBC, and CBS 40. Then again, News 40 at 9 and News 40 at noon. In the meantime, have a great Sunday evening as winter has officially begun now. Here we go. Yep, it's here. God bless you.